This deep dive takes us into a scenario that's pretty chilling. The targeted killing of Brian Thomson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, and it happened in broad daylight, in Midtown Manhattan, no less.
Yeah.
So imagine you're walking down the street, just another morning rush, and all of a sudden an attack like this unfolds.
Crazy.
We're going to be looking at CNN reports and the surveillance footage analysis, not just as like a crime report, but as a way to understand how investigators can use even the smallest details to piece together exactly what happened.
Yeah. What really gets me is the contrast. You have the everyday chaos of Midtown, people going about their routines, and then bam, this calculated act of violence.
Right.
It's almost like watching two different worlds collide.
Yeah, the footage itself is very unsettling. Thompson's just walking to a hotel, seemingly unaware of the danger, and then the shooter appears, and he's waiting almost like he's expecting Thompson.
And it's really the shooter's actions that stand out to me. He completely ignores a bystander who's running away. Just laser focused on Thomson. This wasn't about causing widespread panic. This was a targeted hit, meticulously planned and executed.
So let's get into what investigators found at the scene. Shell casings, an abandoned phone, even a Starbucks water bottle. It makes you realize how even the most ordinary items can become crucial evidence in a case like this.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a forensic trail, breadcrumbs leading investigators through the events before and after the attack.
Right.
Each item tells a story, helps build a timeline.
Okay, let's start with the shell casings. They found those right there at the scene.
Right, and what's really interesting about shell casings is they can be as unique as a fingerprint. Every gun leaves microscopic marks on the casings when a bullet is fired.
Oh, wow. So investigators can actually link a specific gun to the crime scene.
Exactly. The ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, they have this database called NIBIN, the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, where they can compare the markings on shell casings found at different crime scenes.
Yeah.
It's like having a digital fingerprint system for firearms.
Now, in this case, the shell casings had something else etched onto them. The words deny, defend, and depose. Pretty unusual, right? What could that mean?
It's certainly unusual. And investigators will be looking into what significance these words might have.
Yeah.
Are they a message to the victim? A code? Or simply a distraction? It's another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Adding to the complexity of the case.
And then there's the shooter himself. From the footage, it's clear he knows how to handle a firearm. He even dealt with a gun jam quickly and efficiently, like it was second nature to him.
Right. That level of proficiency suggests some kind of training, possibly military or law enforcement.
Okay.
They have these drills, immediate action drills, where they practice clearing malfunctions under pressure. And the shooter's actions were very deliberate and methodical. Yeah.
And speaking of methodical, the use of a silencer also points to a high level of planning. It's not just about reducing the sound. It's about avoiding attention, minimizing panic.
Exactly. A silencer suggests the shooter didn't want to attract unnecessary attention or create widespread fear.
Right.
This was a focused act of violence with a specific target in mind.
Which makes you wonder, was this a crime of passion or a professional hit? We know Paulette Thomson, Brian Thomson's wife, had mentioned threats against her husband. And there were those disturbing threats aimed at high-level executives at UnitedHealth Group itself.
Right. The motive is still unclear, but those threats are a crucial part of the investigation.
Yeah.
Were these threats personal in nature or connected to Brian Thomson's role at UnitedHealth Group?
Right.
These are the questions investigators will be trying to answer.
It's a major healthcare company. You'd think someone like the CEO would have, top-notch security.
You'd assume so, and likely he did.
Yeah.
But this case highlights a chilling reality. Even with security measures in place, there's always a level of vulnerability.
Right.
Especially for someone in such a high-profile position.
It's a terrifying thought. It makes you question your own sense of safety, knowing that someone could be targeted so precisely, even in a crowded city like New York.
It's understandable to feel uneasy.
Yeah.
This case taps into a primal fear, the idea that someone could be watching, planning, waiting for the right moment.
Right.
But it's important to remember that this was a highly targeted attack, not a random act of violence.
The NYPD has released images of the suspect and is urging anyone with information to come forward. They're even offering a reward. That public awareness can be crucial, can it?
Absolutely. Someone out there might have seen something, even a small detail, that seemed insignificant at the time that could help investigators break the case. It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in keeping our communities safe.
So what do we have so far? A meticulously planned attack. A shooter who appears to have some level of training, and a motive that's still shrouded in mystery.
Right.
Shell casings, the phone, even that Starbucks bottle, they're all clues pointing investigators toward the truth.
And what's fascinating about these investigations is how seemingly unconnected details can become critical pieces of evidence. It's like piecing together a puzzle where every fragment, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture.
It's like something out of a crime drama, but with real-world consequences,
Yeah.
real fear, and a family left grappling with the aftermath. Is there any hope for justice in a case as complex as this?
Well, there's always hope. Even the most carefully planned crimes, they leave traces.
Right.
And with advancements in forensic science, along with public cooperation, justice can be served. I think this case highlights the crucial role of awareness, both for law enforcement and for everyday people like you and me.
You're absolutely right. This case is a stark reminder that we live in a world where even CEOs, people with considerable resources and security, can be targeted.
Right.
It really underscores the importance of personal safety, even in seemingly safe environments.
It's a wake-up call for all of us, wouldn't you say?
Hmm.
Absolutely. It prompts us to be more vigilant, to trust our instincts, and to report anything that seems out of place. It's about creating a culture of awareness where we look out for each other and work together to prevent tragedies like this from happening.
We've talked about the forensic evidence, the meticulous planning, the chilling efficiency of this attack. At the end of the day, it's about a human life lost, a family left devastated, and a community grappling with fear and uncertainty.
That's the human cost of these crimes, and it's something we can't lose sight of.
Right.
While investigators work to piece together the puzzle, let's hope this deep dive serves as a reminder to be aware, be vigilant, and be proactive in protecting ourselves and our communities.
This deep dive has been a chilling reminder of the vulnerability we all face, but it also highlights the power of collective awareness, the importance of cooperation with law enforcement, and the hope that even in the darkest of times, justice can prevail.